Already dry. I'm very surprised that 2 people are watching us because of the time of the day.
Do we know who they are?
Go get a job. No, no. No, we don't. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is very good. This is
Do
very
we have
good.
enough, John?
I think so. And back up. I think so. Alright. I think we should go on the way.
Yeah.
I did not say you. Here's your mic.
Absolutely.
Brand new mic, different mic to last time.
Oh,
Do you like?
Has-
You
has-
like?
I do like.
That's good.
Has Ricardo used this?
Many times. You know what? These are the same mics that they used in the Great Reset deal. You know, Klosh Schwab. Same. This is the same mic, same stand, everything.
Well,
So that's how good they are.
I'm surprised. I'm glad they're not gold.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm telling all the people here to leave this one. How's Dougal?
Dougal is flying, man. He's doing phenomenally well.
What's he up to?
Dougal is what's Dougal up to? He's just kicking goals, man. He's just kicking goals. He's working with Penthouse, and we'll talk about that later. But he's been doing some phenomenal stuff over there. You're gonna like what he's doing. It's not magazine stuff. It's politics stuff, because they're not just believe it or not. Penthouse isn't just a what do you call it?
Racing magazine?
A racing magazine. They actually do have articles in there from very credible people like Andrew O'Neill from the UK and
Yeah.
a lot of other people talking about freedom, because they're libertarians. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
don't tread on me, leave me alone. Sort of people.
Well, that's why the whole magazine was created.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it just happens to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally reading this for the politics and the nuanced views. But in actuality, it's like, no, that looks very good. Alright, let's get started.
Let's do it.
So with these mics, try and keep it as like this far away. Yeah, that. And you have no problem with gold.
No, I don't. I do not have problems with the volume.
Not at all. Not at all. But I think it's going to be very fun. It is going to be good. I'll just make sure we get
I
out.
was told by a journalist or a producer or something while doing an interview with me at the protest that when I fold my hands I look like I'm very suspicious person.
Yeah, absolutely. You do. You do.
know? So now it's one of my favourite things to do, to fold my hands. Now I'm constantly going, I hope I don't look like a cream. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not shady.
Yeah, but no, it's me too. If I'm dressed in anything other than a suit and I'm doing this,
Yeah.
people are like, what the hell is that Lebanese Syrian guy doing?
I mean, what's he thinking?
He's going to block the plane. He's going to, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it just to piss you off. But no, I do it all the time, and I love what it does to people. They get very frustrated. But let's get started.
Okay.
Alright. Checkmate. Muslims turn on the vaccine because it's not halal. Trump signs a 4th historic peace deal, and the Supreme Court throws out the Texas lawsuit to overturn the election. This is The Arc with Romeo Georges.
Hello everyone.
Romeo, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Joel. How are you?
You're not Ricardo. Did you eat him? What happened to him?
Me, Lieutenant Colonel SAS.
Yeah.
The best of me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to put you in a box. You worked in the military too, didn't you?
Yeah, but there's different standards of military.
What did you serve?
But I was a truck driver, 8-6. You know, and I had a good attempt at trying to become special forces, but
Yeah.
you know, due to Arab parents,
Yeah.
and they're worried that you know their single son might die.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of hurdles I had to jump over, and I just got tired. And,
Yeah.
You know, jumping over hurdles, try to become a commando is one thing. Jumping over hurdles your mum puts in front of you
Oh,
is
no.
a totally different story.
That's completely different.
Yeah, totally.
So what have you been up to? Can you quickly give us a 1 minute on where you've been, what have you been up to? Because the last time we chatted, it was back in, when was it, August?
Yeah.
And we did the first sort of episode with you on my right and Ricardo on my left.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that interview did very well. I think it's approaching 10,000 views. So we might have to do that very soon again.
Why not? It's anytime. You know, I've always got time for you, John.
Yeah. But what have you been up to?
Basically investigating this vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Sorry, I am not a non-vaxxer. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I just like to research stuff, and that led me down to being involved with the protests down in Sydney.
Mm.
Worked out very, very well, even though we got a lot of, not a lot, but some negative views. But that's okay, it's expected.
Mm.
I thank everybody that rocked up.
Mm.
The numbers weren't as big as the May one, I think it was, but they weren't that much less, maybe, I think 100 less. But the turnout was, to me, exceptional because everyone that came were very, very well informed. And we're not talking about people who are fence sitters.
Mm.
They've done their research, they know what this is about,
Yeah.
and they just came down in full support. And like that, Afghani king that once said, I'd rather send 5 lions instead of 500 sheep.
Yeah.
And to me, those people there to that day were, 400 or 500 lions.
Mm.
And it's very empowering and very humbling at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I've also, been working with you, and together we dropped that bombshell.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
You shocked the living daylights out of me.
That's the most consequential video I've done so far. It scared the bejesus out of me. You got my live reaction on camera with that. I don't know if you could tell us how surprised I was.
Yeah, I mean, just that live that we did went spastic. Just went, whew. And it was really, all we said was, we just touched on a few little points. Yeah. Really didn't go into much detail, except to explain to everybody and it's just gone crazy. So I'd really like to know what would happen if we yourself, Ricardo Bosie, myself, actually went into details exactly what this government is up to. Yeah. How many Australians would be walking around with their jaw just on the ground or in a fetal position in a corner somewhere, realising that their government has betrayed them? So that's what I've been up to in the last few months. Yeah.
Exciting 2021 from the sounds of it. I think you're going to have a very packed year.
I hope so, because I'm not doing this for myself. I prefer just to drive my truck, make my living and come home and enjoy my family. Yeah. I'm doing this for my children. I'm trying to be an example to fellow parents that it's not just about providing financial support, it's about providing support for the future, laying proper foundations for our children to step on. I had a picture in my house, and due to my wife getting bored of our interior design, that disappeared. But for a very long time I had a picture that said, our land, the land does not belong to you, you borrow it from the children. So I took that, I love that saying, and when you borrow something, you take care of it. Because if you take it back or give it back to the owner, and it's broken, you got to pay for it.
That's right.
So I want parents to realise that, take care of it, because in life, you won't pay for it, your children will.
That's right. Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait for 2021. It's going to be a crazy year. I think that it's going to be very fascinating seeing what happens with the COVID lockdown, seeing how that develops. Because I have a bit of a worry that next year's going to turn, we're going to talk about 2020 for years, decades, even maybe even centuries to come as being
the great toilet famine.
Exactly. And my worry is that it's going to end up turning into 2020, 2021 because it's like the plague years, if you know what I mean. Do you ever have that worry?
Yeah, I have the worry that we're going to have COVID 21, COVID 22, and and the media and governments around the world are making so much money that they're going to turn it into an industry. It's a money-making machine. And I'm surprised that any political leader, doesn't matter how strong he is, for example, Donald Trump, the leader of the free world, you think is untouchable, and he's been made out to be an absolute looney tune because he wanted to give, he wanted to be strong, he wanted to be an example for the Western world that I'm 77 years old. Maybe he did play the game. You know, I've got COVID and 3 days later I'm fit as a fiddle. And he was made out by the left and the media to be a looney tune. A few years ago he would have been made a god. You know, that's where we're heading, and this is what we've got to do to try and stop. You know, wake up, realise that it is all about money, but it's not money for you or me, it's money for them.
And I mean, there have been some very fascinating things developing with the vaccine, as we talked about before, and this is our first bit of news. And you mentioned this to me, and I started looking into it. The MUI issued a fatwa on COVID-19 vaccine. What does that mean? Well, that basically means that the COVID-19 vaccine, or the Pfizer vaccine, is not halal. Checkmate. So I'll read out the title on this, guys. The Indonesian Ulman Council Assessment Institute for Foods, Drugs and Cosmetics and Halal Certification have finished a study on the halal status of a possible COVID-19 vaccine. They found that there isn't any COVID-19 vaccine that is halal. The vice president of this organisation explained a very important thing about this. He said that if the vaccine is halal, then it's good. There's no problem. But if it's not halal, that's also not a problem. He said in a statement on October 2nd. Because this is an emergency situation, it's okay for use, and even though it's a non-halal vaccine. So it seems like it's non-halal, they recognise that. However, because there's no alternative halal certified vaccine, they're like, okay, it's an emergency, we need to break the glass on this and just use it. But isn't that fascinating? Because I think you mentioned to me it's because there's aborted fetus cells in there.
Yes.
What do you think is going to come out of all this?
Any true Muslim, and I'm not talking about the extremists, you know, the terrorists that everybody wants to back. I'm talking about peace-loving, Quran reading, love their neighbour, which I have a lot of them in my life. If they are true Muslims, they wouldn't believe this. Okay, because of the chemicals in it. Whether it's blessed by a sheikh or not, the chemicals that are used are more than just not halal. They're against, you know, I mean, we're talking about aborted baby, cannibalism, right? Now, not just the Muslims, I want to touch on Christians as well. You understand that it's a sin to inject something into your body, because as Christians, our bodies was made by God. It belonged, you know, our soul, and you know, there's a lot of things that we do, you know, that consider us sinners. But as Christians, we have a God that's forgiving. But I hope that going back, you know, that's Christians as well. But Muslims need to be true to their faith and true to themselves, right? And understand that whether a sheikh blesses it or not, it's made from something that is an abomination in the eyes of God. It's that simple. And if they truly believe in their faith and are truly people of God, they would denounce this and do not accept it, and actually accept death before this.
That'd be interesting to see how this develops, won't it?
You know? But with all due respect, everyone has a price. What is the price of the leaders of Islam? We will find out.
Absolutely. For those of you watching online on the live stream, ask your questions. We will be getting to them eventually. Chuck in a super chat and we'll get to it at the end, but there will be an hour or so where Romeo and I will be taking your questions unfiltered. So we have been very interested about the US election and what's been going on there.
Has there been anything more interesting?
I know, right? It's like a 5-minute TV show that's larger than life than this. You won't find it. Now, last we left off, there were the swing states which still have their lawsuits ongoing. Very frustrating covering this week to week. nothing really moving forward. Over this last week, we mentioned that there was a Texas lawsuit which came out, and that was where Texas was saying that it was unconstitutional that a lot of these swing states changed the rules to their voting, their mail-in voting,
which is illegal.
Exactly, because Texas did it legally. They went through the normal constitutional process.
And who won?
Who won?
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe Biden, apparently.
Thank you, Colin.
And so this is the problem we've got. We've got a situation where one state's saying, no, your illegal votes have nullified our own votes. We did it properly. We did it constitutionally. If we need to amend our constitution, we did it properly. Yet these swing states like Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, you did not do it properly. We need to sue you guys and basically render this. So they took it straight to the Supreme Court. There were 20 states that took the side of Texas. As you can see now, guys, we've got, these are the states that backed Texas in red. There were 20 of these states which said basically, we back Texas on this. It was unconstitutional and you guys need to fix this up. And then as you can also see, you've got the blue states as well saying that no, we oppose this, it's perfectly fine, we're not going to ruin or throw out the legitimate votes of these mail-in votes that happen. And so we're at an impasse. So it's 20 versus 20 states, and then we had a few states that stay out of it. Now this is the problem. The Supreme Court, they didn't even listen to the case. They just threw it out. They said, you don't have standing. What does that mean? That means that it's like you're a third party, you have nothing to do with this case. If Donald Trump sued, that would make sense, but he's not. This is Texas, and Texas has nothing to do with Pennsylvania or these other swing states. And so it didn't even get heard. So we had a situation where Donald Trump tweeted that Justice Alito and Thomas, these are two of the judges on the Supreme Court, said they would have allowed the Texas lawsuit to proceed with its election lawsuit. He said, this is great and disgraceful and a disgraceful miscarriage of justice. The people of the United States were cheated and our country disgraced, never even given our day in court. And we've got Justice Gorsuch, Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, who were silent on the Supreme Court decision on Texas. That's not good. That is not good at all, guys, is it? I mean, we have the Chief Justice, Justice Thomas, basically saying, well, I would have heard it, guys.
Okay. I'm going to throw a Hail Mary out there, Get rid of it. What about if they were asked to stay quiet? Because everybody seems to forget that had this gone to the Supreme Court and Trump won, the media's going to come out and say the Supreme Court was bought. They were paid off.
Yeah.
Or they outnumber them, I think, what is it, 7 to 2?
Yeah, 6 to 3.
6 to 3.
Yeah, 6 to 3 right now.
The Republicans sticking up for themselves and this is not right. Then we probably end up getting a counter-suit from the Democrats.
Yeah.
And it's going to go on. What about if Trump said to them, stay quiet?
Yeah.
Lose.
Yeah.
Then we go to Senate. We get the college votes. And all I need is for 2 senators to stand up and say, I oppose this vote.
Yeah. Maybe.
Leave it up to Pence.
Yeah, maybe. Look, this is basically what happened, guys. So because this case didn't go through, there are other cases which we're still waiting on, these swing states. But as a result, you mentioned that we had the electoral college votes get tallied this week.
Yeah. Do you know who won?
Do I know who won? No, I don't.
Can somebody please tell me how come the media know that Biden won?
I don't.
Apparently the votes are in envelopes that are sealed and will not be open till January 2nd.
That's right.
Yet I've got Australian media. John, can I swear?
You should go for it. Yeah, I can read it.
How the fuck does Australian media know who won the college electoral votes? Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah, no.
Right? Are they? I don't know. There's a few people that can see the future on Channel 9.
Yeah.
Like seriously, the hypocrisy is incredible.
It's insane.
It's just the stupidity
I know.
that these left believe Biden has won the electoral, and then in the same paragraph, votes will be counted on the 6th of January.
Yeah.
So you don't know who won.
No, they don't. The hubris is amazing.
Anyway.
So the graph we've got up now that everyone can see is basically the states that this is what we think we know. These are the envelope that you're talking about. Because on the 14th, guys, what ends up happening is they get the envelope. They all put their the electors get sent from these states. For example, California has 55 electors that get sent. They all put their votes in these envelopes, and they get sealed, and they get opened on the 5th.
Yeah, and it's read out on the 6th.
Yeah, it's read out on the 6th. So this map shows you the states that we know sent electors for Trump and which ones sent electors for Biden. Obviously red and blue.
Yeah.
Now the ones in grey is places where they sent both.
Yeah.
Where there's a dispute. Now what does that mean? That means the votes are going to nullify themselves, and both candidates are going to get over 270.
Yeah.
So basically, Pence, as you alluded to, is going to have to pick on January 6th which way he goes, which ones will he throw out, and if he decides to throw them out, then that means the Supreme Court might have to change it or approve it or whatever, depending on who challenges it. Interesting times, guys. And you said that, so the actual process it isn't actually two senators, it's one person from the House, one person from the Senate for each state. So if someone disputes the Pennsylvania one, it's someone from the House, which we have. We've got someone who's willing to do it. We're still waiting on someone from the Senate. Maybe it's happened while I've been speaking, but they're looking at people like Rand Paul or Ron Paul to pull that through.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe Ted Cruz will back one of them. We will see. But
They just need to.
Yeah, just two. That's it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. We will see what happens. And they are obligated to debate this state for 2 hours if it's challenged. So that would give the opportunity for some evidence to be.
Even if it's undecided.
Yeah.
After 2 hours of debate, he will stand on the floor and say what he has to say. Right? He is the ultimate power.
Yeah.
And I was watching a YouTube documentary, and I must say, God bless the forefathers of America, because they knew that one day this might happen. Yeah. So Pelosi has no power. Bye bye, darling. Go put your makeup on. Whatever you want to do. Get the hell out of here, you old bag. Yeah. Right? Seriously, man. I mean, I used to think vampires were
a myth.
Yeah. But nobody can stop him. So to the left, say what you must, do what you have to. Yeah. But in the end, come the 6th of January, I will be saying, how do you like me now? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't understand how we won more Republic, more seats. It just
doesn't make sense.
It just nothing makes sense.
We've run through on the show all the irregularities. It doesn't make sense that Obama won less votes than this guy. It doesn't make sense that Obama won more counties. He won almost two times more counties than Biden. Yeah, Biden got a higher vote. None of this makes sense.
But Joel, we are living in a society where it is normal to accept what does not make sense. Yeah. We are living in a society where a child comes home and his mum says to him, "What did you do today?" And he said, "My friends jumped off the bridge." And instead of the mum saying, like our parents said to us, "Just because your friends jump off a bridge, you don't jump off a bridge," she will actually be saying, "Why didn't you jump off the bridge?" This is the society that we live in. Yeah. It is normal, and it's accepted that we accept something that just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Accept it. Yeah. Isn't that funny? It's you know what? If we don't laugh, we'd seriously be crying.
Be crying. That's right. So we'll see how this develops, won't we? This next few weeks with these states. I mean, isn't that spicy? The fact that these states sent contesting electors. It's going to be very, very interesting. And you know what? Trump's not going to be happy if he comes through. He's going to be firing a ton of people. Going to be getting rid of a ton.
And I'm going to be rubbing my hands like a leprechaun above a pot of gold. You know, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because so many people right now do not just deserve to be fired, but they need to be arrested, imprisoned, and not just imprisoned in maximum security, in a hole with a little light for air, a bullet hole, just so air can get through. You know, we are dealing with substandard demonic human beings whose ultimate goal is to destroy humanity the way we know it and have utter, total power without being liable for anything they do. And I believe what you are seeing, guys, is a battle between good and evil.
Yeah, true it is.
This is a mythical, this is something that will be written about in many years to come. And our children and our children's children will be told when the world actually fought to keep the light. Because we're about to have darkness full of things. And this might sound like, Lord of the Rings stuff. It does.
It is. It is.
But it is.
Yeah, it is.
We have a man that suffers from dementia.
Yeah.
We have a man that does not remember the name of his own wife. Yeah. Right? Being considered as the next great leader of the free world.
I know.
This man should be considered to be put into a nursing home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a woman who went out of her way with Biden, Harris, to keep an innocent man in jail because it did not agree with their agenda.
That's right, she withheld the evidence.
Wake up, guys. Right? To all the left, and I've heard it many, many times, Donald Trump is a misogynistic, egotistic, rapist. Donald Trump is a multi-billionaire. Right? He made himself due to good business deals. And he took that ability to make good business deals and used it to make America great again. He really did.
Yeah.
He created jobs, whether the left like it or not. They can sit in their corner and do their heroin for all I care.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth. You might not like the guy. In real life, he might be a prick. I might not like him. But I am not judging him upon his personality. I'm judging him on what he's achieved for America. And that's what you're supposed to do as a leader. Many generals have said, my men may not like me, but they respect me because I kept them alive. They don't like what I do to keep them alive, but I keep them alive and they respect me for it. So stop telling me he's a rapist. He's raped no one. Stop telling me that he's murdered innocent babies. Where? He wasn't the president of America when America invaded Syria, invaded Iraq, invaded every single Middle East. He was not the president. He's the first president in 71 years not to cause war upon any nation and actually pushed to have his men and sons and daughters brought back home. So you can take your leftist agenda and all that stuff and shove it where the sun doesn't shine, because the truth is in front of us, and I'm sick of everybody seeing the truth and saying it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I'm over it.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely crap. And I mean, building on your point, we had a situation this week where we've also found a situation where Joe Biden, it's very clear that
I'm getting pissed.
I know, I can tell, and we've got a situation where the Times magazine said the person of the year is two people. Not Donald Trump, of course, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I decided to chuck shit at
What was that? Say it again. I was concentrating on the whiskey.
No, that's alright. Everyone still thinks it's whiskey, isn't it? It's because of people like you. Oh dear. You know, in our very first podcast with Ricardo, he cracked a joke saying it was whiskey. By the way, guys, just a side note. This is from a subscriber of the show who wrote 1 million for the first million followers we got on the show. We're fast approaching 5 million. Before the end of the year, we will reach 5 million. The next milestone is 10 million. I don't know when we'll reach that.
Now.
Now? You reckon right now on the live stream?
Right now.
Let's do it. Why not? That is Scotch, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm wearing my father's gold watch to celebrate that you will today reach the 10 million today.
That's going to be amazing.
My dad and your dad, God rest both their souls,
Yeah.
they're here, they're pushing for us.
Yeah.
You know, I may be a little bit more grayer.
Yeah.
It might have taken me a lot more time to actually stand up
Yeah.
and represent the Australian people with dignity and respect. But I'm proud of you. Remember that, Joel. I told you a long time ago, if me and Jammal had made love straight away, maybe I would have some the same age as you. It's your fault, Jammal.
Maybe you did. It's not bad.
Just the bloody wedding was so tight.
Let's get back to this. Trump has unleashed.
Yeah.
He's a minister. I'm trying to move on as quickly as possible.
I'm sure my wife is shaking her brain right now.
Will this make the cut? Maybe, guys, maybe. Go back and record this. This might not make the cut. This week we found out that Bill Barr, the Attorney General in the Trump administration, resigned. Why? Because it turns out that there was an investigation that's been going on for over 6 months into Hunter Biden and his ties with overseas companies, like within China.
CCP.
That's CCP. And Bill Barr didn't tell anyone when it was relevant to the election. Why not? Well, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And so he's resigned or been fired or however you want to interpret it. And I think this is a sign of things to come if it turns out Trump pulls this off.
He's the first to go. But I read an article that somebody's not really sticking up for him, but they were sort of trying to understand why. Look, he's a big man.
Yeah.
But he wasn't up to the job.
Yeah.
Right? When push comes to shove, he got shoved out of the way and he crumbled. He might have been a great man back in the day. Yeah. But he's lost a lot of his power. And that's maybe, you know, who knows? Could have been threatened. Doesn't have the backup he used to. So he kept quiet.
I kind of liked Bill Barr, to be honest. I don't know why he sat on that. I'm baffled, bamboozled even. But it is a shame to see him go, but I just wish he did a bit more, you know? I really do.
I wish a lot of people did a bit more.
Of course.
But we are facing a side of humanity where debating the truth doesn't work, and assassination is the way to go. It's their tactic. Yeah. I mean, your Syrian Arabic background, I'm Syrian Lebanese background, I'm Lebanese background, and we know what threat of assassination does to the game of politics. It turns lions into sheep real quickly. Yeah. Unfortunately, I believe that this man was once a lion who turned into a sheep, and it's not necessarily saying to him, because I believe that any man that is threatened with death would stand up and do the right thing, but I believe that they play their game where they say, maybe you won't see your daughter tomorrow. Who knows? That's the tweet that breaks your ankle. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't have any evidence to suggest otherwise, but a lot of people are under pressure, and I get worried when I see this stuff. But look, it's not looking good, guys, so far. Assuming it's still a long shot. It's still a long shot that Trump wins this. However, he's still getting on with the job while he's still done a lot of great things.
Exactly, and this week we saw that Trump announced his 4th Arab state to make peace with Israel. Morocco.
I've been looking for a Moroccan restaurant. Can't find any. Seriously, I'm going to take Jammal on Friday night to Morocco. We went, they're all closed. Bloody fucking COVID.
Bloody COVID.
Yeah, we'll get back to being serious.
You're going to have to normalise relation there. That's bad.
That's excellent.
So this is the fourth peace deal.
Yeah.
That's happened. The other ones that happened was with the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Sudan with Israel as well.
That's massive. Sudan. One of the most hard-driven nations against Israel. I mean, they send their soldiers over anywhere to fight against Israel. So that's a huge nation. That's massive.
Absolutely.
You know, UAE, Bahrain. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, they already
Arab, they love the.
They already did.
But Sudan and now Morocco. That's massive. That's really.
And let's not forget, Egypt's already normalised for a very long time.
Mate, anybody that knows anything about Egypt, I mean, there is pure and utter hatred towards Israel by both sides. You know, I mean, Israel towards Egypt, the 6-Day War led by Egypt, and some Egyptians were betrayed, and there's pure and utter hatred. And to see this, it's like peace, live and let live. You know, live and let live. You know, but what gets me the most is while he's achieving all of this, how is the media betraying Donald Trump while he is achieving all of this? He's crying, he's upset, he's sulking, really. The person that cries and sulks and carries on, I don't want to give it up. Look what he's achieving. Wow, I wish I could cry and sook that much as well.
This is the first. Like, I mean, these are significant peace deals.
And they're binding. Nobody wants to talk about, because everybody in this situation, both Israel, Morocco, Egypt, the UAE, Bahrain, Sudan, they are all going to benefit from this financially, growth-wise. And I can tell you this: there's a lot more there's a lot more Arab nations that are jumping at the chance to say, hey, can we be part of this? Which I'm hoping Lebanon will be as well, which my channels are telling me that this could be on the cards as well. But I don't know. You know, this is conspiracy theory now, so I don't like to go down that way. But I want to make a perfect example of what happens to a nation when it makes peace with its neighbour. I'm not saying Israel, right? I'm saying a neighbour, Jordan. Is there anybody that's been to Jordan? What a nation. An Islamic nation, yet open, free, respectful. Got a lot of friends that live there who are Christians. They said we are respected, we have a beautiful life. Our king is open-minded, he doesn't insult anyone, we don't insult anyone. This is what happens when you reach out for peace. You breed love. You know? Hopefully one day if the king would invite me to Jordan, I wouldn't mind going just to bathe in the Black Sea.
I'm sure. I think it was, I can't remember which philosopher said this, but he said, where trade doesn't cross borders, armies will. It's like, okay, all right, that makes sense. So this is very good to see, but unfortunately at this rate, I must reiterate, guys, we need to see some of this evidence brought before the courts. So we need that. I mean, believe it or not, we haven't seen any case so far of Trump's dismissed on the merits. It's always been dismissed on procedure. You have no standing, you have no this, you have no that. The paperwork you completed is not done properly. That is not what has happened so far when we've had merits gone through and the judge has thrown it out. So at this stage, until that happens, I'll keep reiterating this point. It looks like Joe Biden's going to be confirmed on January 20th. They need to get their butts into gear right now. So it does look like a number of findings have been coming up. In 2013, Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden flew aboard Air Force 2 to China. 10 days later, Hunter Biden, his firm, inked a $1.5 billion deal with the Chinese government, it's Bank of China, and the source of that is secret enterprise. Isn't that funny, guys? More of this. more of this. You're going to see more of this because Hillary Clinton had the Clinton Foundation. Joe Biden and the Biden family, he basically uses his family to do that. So Hunter Biden gets all of these jobs where he gets 80 grand a month, and then what happens? Then he ends up paying for a bunch of stuff, like the house, this and
The
that.
backhander.
The backhander, exactly. And we saw with a lot of the leaked emails that came out, there were emails from Joe Biden's daughter, which basically said, I can't do this anymore, I don't like paying for everything, I'm carrying the team because she was getting a lot of the benefits and this and that. And that's just, it's very disgusting to see the swamp guys, but that's what they voted for. 100 million people don't like Joe Biden. That's the progressives and the conservatives.
Okay.
And until people realise that this is a rebellion against the establishment, we're going to keep going against it, and the establishment will keep winning like this.
Joe Biden is the puppet. Somebody's got their hand up his butt. He's not going to last.
No, you're right.
That's not Peter. He's not going to. He's a puppet.
Yeah.
Right? But it suits whoever's controlling everything for our hatred to be pointed at this man.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is using Biden to consume the hatred, only to throw that hatred away and step up through Harris. Right? We have I mean, it's there. He has a son that has pictures snorting cocaine off a child. Okay? The pictures are there.
Yeah.
Right? We have pedophilia. This man himself thinks that introducing himself to someone is smelling their hair.
Yeah.
Right? The closest thing, I did research to find out, are there any customs that do that? I think the Maori touch nose.
Yeah.
I'd respect the man if you want to touch my nose, but come up to me and smell my hair. Or smell my daughter's hair, I would bitch slap him straight across the room.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And you hear all this
And
crap.
this is accepted.
Yeah, and you hear all this crap about, these allegations that Donald Trump has raped women and this and that. This guy in the White House, Joe Biden in the White House, been touching women inappropriately and sniffing their hair, and you see the kids pulling away, and it's disgusting.
What happened to the woman that came out and said in the corridor of the White House, he put her up against the wall and put his hand up her legs? In between it, what happened to her? She did one interview and then disappeared.
Tara Reid?
Right?
Is that her name?
Yes.
Tara Reid.
Yeah.
We're all forgot about that.
Everyone. But people still going on about that. Trump, in a room, in a change room, playing golf, said to his mate, do the, what was it? The fanny grab? Or what was it?
Yeah, I just grab her by the...
Grab her by the...
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a nice thing to say. I'm not sticking up for
No,
it.
not at all. But
Let's put this in perspective.
Yeah.
A bunch of idiots probably drunk, millionaires, billionaires, having too much to drink, game of golf, in the room, nobody around.
Yeah. They're on the bus, just having a chat.
We're men. Sometimes we just don't think, and we say stupid
It's
stuff.
not just men either. Women. You should hear what some women
Yeah.
talk. We act like it's just
Some women will, they leave the room. They're married, Mother Mary or Mother Teresa, and then 2 minutes later you go,
Well, isn't that what they said about the Catholic girls? You always want a Catholic girl in
Yeah.
the bedroom. Anyway, I won't go there. But no, look, with the situation...
God bless the Catholic girls. God bless all girls.
30 years ago, that was when that thing came, to grab him by the pee thing, whatever. Now, was he in elected office?
No.
Was Joe Biden on camera in the White House as the vice president when he did all those things? Yes.
Where is the footage?
It's all there. It's all on YouTube. Check it out. It's so easy. Joe Biden.
There you go.
Sniffing.
I asked that to get you this.
Guys,
Guys, everything is there in front of you. You just have to go looking for it.
And perhaps that's the scariest part of it all, because it's like, it's right there and still nothing done. It's like so much for the Me Too movement. It's like you just elected this person. Well done.
But can we go to know this Me Too movement?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Fang it.
I've always been brutally honest and very straightforward.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, all these actors, yeah, what's his name? That director? Forget his name. The one they got in prison.
Oh.
That scumbucket. That is an absolute fool.
Oh, Epstein?
No, that's Jeffrey Epstein.
Who's that?
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
Oh, Weinstein, yeah.
The movie mogul.
Yeah.
What he did was disgusting.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You know? If any of those actresses had a boyfriend, I'm surprised that he's, you know. But one of them said that, sorry guys, I'm already swearing, so who cares?
Yeah.
That he followed her into the hallway of in between the men's toilets and the females' toilets, and he masturbated in front of her. While that's a disgusting act, and you must be mentally unstable to do such a thing, may I ask, what the hell did you stand there and stay standing there? Why didn't you scream? Why didn't you run away?
Yeah.
Was it because you were promised a $20 million film deal?
Yeah.
And now that the money's dried up, you want to bring up something that you should have done something about it then and there, and you would have been backed up?
Yeah.
He is a scumbucket. I'm not justifying what he did, because acts like this show signs of mental instability.
Yeah.
There's something wrong mentally in his brain.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with you. But maybe you were a no-name actress and he was promising you to take you. So you took it, and now that you're a has-been, you want, like, this Me Too needs to be zoned, needs to be honed in on women right now. Young actresses, young waitresses, young women in the workforce that are being abused in such a way, and they need to know that they have the power to stand up right now, not 20 years down the track. There's no Me Too movement. That's being vindictive. That's trying to get somebody back for doing something to you, and now you're not making money anymore, so why not suing? Try to get some more. I want a true Me Too movement is now. Right now. Defending your sister, my daughter, to make sure that no male or female, because let's not kid ourselves, right, in a position of power, can use that position to hurt somebody. That's a true Me Too.
Yeah.
Not these has-been actors.
Yeah. Who used it and
Craig McLaughlin came out. He won the court case.
yeah, I saw that.
Now he's counter-suing.
Yeah.
Defamation.
As he should.
Okay, was he might have been, you know, a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
But was he as bad as they made it out to be? Or was it the fact that they weren't as good actresses and they were fired? Because mind you, most of them I think were let go, and they used the excuse, he didn't like us. So they, well, you know, maybe he didn't like you.
Maybe.
But that doesn't give you the right to accuse him that he put his hand on your breast or slapped you on the butt.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. What was that?
This microphone's not working, but of course it's working. I'm listening to it right now.
I thought he said say hi to Mum.
There's no problem with the mic. Dear, I have to wrestle with doing this all the time.
Okay. We're being trolls. Joel's being trolled by his sisters.
I am. She's like, the mic's not working. Definitely working because I'm listening to it right now.
Yeah. Plus our viewers would have told.
Exactly. I mean, if they wouldn't be watching, I'd have zero viewers. But let's run through this really quickly. Wow, we went on a sidetrack, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's things that we need to address.
No, the important sidetrack though. But the situation around Joe Biden, the people sticking their head in the sand, it's insane, and it's all for the cause. Now, if he does get, put in the White House, there's a lot of states, as we saw, 20 versus 20 states weren't happy. Texas, for example, one lawmaker has floated the idea of a referendum to secede from the Union, for the state to become its own nation. Isn't that insane? This is not looking good, guys. This is not looking good.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Western Australia offered the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. we're going to get a breaking point. People, these politicians, they don't realise what they're meddling with. And this is what I'm talking about when I say, we're going in a bad direction. Populism is becoming very popular. And these ideas will continue to gain steam. And we've talked about Ricardo's party, and it's very important the way that it's moving forward. And it's got some good ideas. One of them is an example right here. Have you heard of Gavin Newsom?
Yes.
In Victoria?
Yes.
Sorry, not Victoria. It's the Victoria of the United States, California. California, because each state has a governor. In California, they're basically going into lockdowns because they're going.
That's a communist state.
Yeah, it's a communist state.
It's a communist state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the situation they've got there is the people are so unhappy. There's so many businesses, liberal, progressive businesses are so unhappy that they're basically doing a signature goal to remove or recall Gavin Newsom, their governor. And they can do that because that's in their constitution. If you get a certain percentage on there.
Well, Ben Shapiro left.
Yeah. And
He moved his whole network, and we're talking, not sure how,
Millions.
70 million or so, I think. He moved it all to Colorado.
Yeah, something like that.
He's sick of it.
Insane.
And there's more, but nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Rogan left.
I mean, why are all these Hollywood superstars doing in Byron Bay?
Yeah.
Right? What are they doing? Maybe they're leaving, they've had enough.
Yeah.
Even them that support this idea of this communist sort of, movement, it's like they're basically saying to me, "Oh, it's good for you, but I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have, I'm not worth 120 million or 150 million or 250 million, right? To pack my stuff up and move.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Yeah.
I'd buy an island and start a new. I'd do Captain James Cook, and I'd start first I'd check if there's Aboriginals there, and if there is, I'd say, "Hello, how are you? Do you mind if I just buy this piece of land off you?" And I won't come in and give them the flu and kill 400,000 of them. I won't kidnap their children.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is these people have a lot of money, and they can do what they want. We're talking about normal people who have a few $1,000s in the bank account, if they're lucky.
Yeah.
They're stuck.
Yeah, they start.
And the people that are pushing this agenda are leaving.
Yeah.
But not Ben Shapiro. Love you, Ben. Right? But Ben's just had enough and said, "Stuff it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm leaving. Who's coming?" And his whole staff, 70-odd people, said, "We're coming." Hold on, let me put this in perspective, guys. 70 people said they're going to pack their house, sell their belongings, whatever, and move.
Yeah.
How bad how bad is it? Like, what more do you need proof that Americans are leaving a state that they were born and raised in to move to, how far is Colorado from California?
It's on the other side of the country.
That's it, right? So it's basically us saying, or Victorians saying, we've had enough of Dan Andrews. We are leaving to the Northern Territory.
That's right. And you know what? There was one guy, James Bartolo, the guy where the police broke their door down earlier this year?
Yes.
Yeah, do you remember? I watched that live. He surprised me. He was at the Freedom Day March in Brisbane. The guy's moved to Queensland. And I gave him a big fat hug and I said, "Thank you for getting out. Well done. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you in good health."
I mean,
not under the boot anymore, It's good to see.
But under whose boot? Trust me, the boot that the Victorians are under, Daniel Andrews is under it too. You are not under Daniel Andrews' boot. He is under it too, but he is in a more privileged position, right? He has more immunity to what will be bestowed upon you by the Grand Masters of the CCP, right? This is a communist boot on Victorians, right? And you know what? I hope all you Victorians, my house is open to anyone that says, "I've had enough. This is a great exodus." Right? I'll be Moses if you have to. I'll lead you out of Victoria.
Let my people go.
That's
it.
This is insane. You are my people. We are. This is insane. This dictator now, Jill Hensley.
Yeah.
Right?
The Attorney General, Jill Hensley.
Shut her mouth. I mean, look at it. Seriously. She looks like a chica rolling.
Her eyes red. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the Attorney General, the person, you did a great video on this, the person that's meant to be safeguarding and making sure things are done constitutionally in Victoria, she advises the government on the constitutionality of their actions. She did not do her job, and she's resigning. Why? Because the hotel quarantine situation came out, and I don't think it looks good for her. Not at all. And so she's had to resign, and it's not good.
I just love the fact that they say, oh, more time with my children.
No,
Darling, you need more time at the hairdresser. Seriously.
But look, how bad can these things get? This is a shocking story, and I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it.
Oh.
Huawei, they tested an AI software that could recognize Uyghur minorities, Uyghur Muslims, and alert police, the report says. Isn't that insane? Look at your face. You are shocked. Isn't that crazy? They can scan your face. Say, okay, this guy's serial enemies. It's arrested. They automatically send a report to police. Go get this mother effer, basically, and they lock them up. Isn't that crazy? This is the 8th of December. This is just this last couple of weeks. Crazy. And you don't think that this can come here? I've heard that a lot of Chinese technology has been used in Victoria. I haven't verified it. Facial recognition.
Everything in Victoria now is China.
Yeah. Belton. Is that a part of the Belton Road issue? I'm not
Of
sure.
course.
It is. Well, I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
I haven't read the agreement because they're so silent in the agreement. But this is alarming, guys. And you got some good people like Drew Pavler ringing the bell on the alarm on China and what they're doing. The Uyghur Muslims and Tibetans and.
They've been doing it. I mean, nobody cares. Right? Mel Gibson. That handsome bloke that all the chicks freak out about. He's 50 years old and they still think he's 22.
George Clooney. There's a few of them.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, the one that can't make up his mind whether he likes a nice ass or big tit or fat lips. He just can't make up his mind. He keeps going from Jennifer Aniston to Angelina Jolie. Just stay with Angelina Jolie. Anyway, he did that movie 7 years in Tibet.
Yeah.
You'd think he would have learned something about the persecution of the Tibet people.
Yeah.
Right? No, he's promoting Biden.
Yeah.
The very people that are persecuting a movie that he made, he made a movie about them.
Yeah.
and he's talking up the person that supports the people that are persecuting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's funny how in his movies he plays anti-fascist, anti-communist, like Fury and all these movies and, Inglorious Bastards. Yet, in real life, the bloke is a Nazi.
Yeah.
Doesn't realise it. And it breaks my heart because I can see goodness in him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's low information people. That's the problem. You need to look into these things. And that's why you're so good because you challenge your people to read articles and read up more and do fact checking. Yeah, and if you stand up to the machine, and this leads to our next story, where Australia has formally taken the China to the World Health Organization. No, let me start that again. Australia has taken China to the World Trade Organization. Big difference.
Over
basically, because the barley tariffs that come through, they're saying, well, you guys come here. This isn't fair. These are the
what are they charging?
We agreed to play by. I
haven't read this article.
I can't remember off the top of my head what the rate was, but China's been doing a number of these things. Basically, it seems like they're just punishing Australia. Why? Because Australia has been getting trumps back from on a number of different things, like the coronavirus situation. We were pushing at the World Health Organization. We were pushing to get an investigation into the origins of the COVID-19 crisis. Was it from the lab? Was it from the Wuhan markets? We still don't know. Nothing decisive. China, basically, they're still getting very annoyed with us.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't see how this is going to help World Trade
Do you know what? I'm going to ask 2 questions, right? Our biggest import of foreign students is China, and who else?
I don't know.
India.
India, is it? Oh, yeah.
The 2 biggest populations of the world is China and who?
India.
Okay. So why do our politicians have their heads so far up the Chinese ass that they can't see that India exists? If China wants to, we don't want, piss off. We already have Indians coming over to learn here and work here and then go back, right? We already have, we can substitute a 1.4 billion population nation with another 1.4 billion people population.
Yeah.
We can substitute cheap manufactured stuff by a 1.4 billion people population nation to another one.
Yeah.
We have India.
Yeah.
Donald Trump sees this.
Yeah.
This is why China hates him. He said, F you, I'll go to India.
Yeah, and we are actually doing that.
Good. So why do we have to put up with this rubbish for?
Because they're still our biggest trading partner. That's the
Right.
problem. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. People get scared and they say they got 10 million soldiers.
Yeah.
Right now, as God is my witness, there are 25 million soldiers here in Australia. Simple as that. I don't understand. But the problem is we've got leaders that don't know how to make money. Okay? They're not.
The lawyers and
Right?
can't even create a job.
With all due respect to teachers,
Yeah.
but when I was at TAFE doing building course, we had a joke. We said builders that don't know how to build, teach. Businessmen who do not know how to run a business become politicians.
It's not funny. Maybe that's why I'm pushing so hard against you to not go into politics.
No? I wouldn't go into politics because I wouldn't last more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the second I walk in there and see these pompous ass little pricks, wannabes, I would bitch slap every single one of them and I would be charged with assault, arrested and put in prison. Now, while I like that idea, I do not want to live without my kids and wife. Right? But they seriously, they irritate the shit out of me.
I bet they do, Romeo. I bet they do. I think that's hilarious, and this will irritate you even more. We talk about no job, no kids, no job, no school, no job, no travel.
Yeah.
Well, get this, no job, no job. That's a new one. You could have seen that coming. This is from the Courier Mail, where Queensland's biggest employers consider no job, no pay policy to force workers to get a vaccine. No pay. Isn't that like a violation of your
Human rights?
Human rights?
Uh-huh.
The Fair Trading Act?
They can do what they like.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
No, these media and companies, I'm looking you straight in the eye. All the CEOs, I'll tell you straight. Do what you want. But if the Australian people, and I'm going to say 60%, which is about right, that are against all of this, because we're going to say 40% with it, because if there wasn't 40%, none of this would have been happening. Okay? There's enough to push it in their favour. But I'm going to say if 60% of Australians finally say enough's enough, we are standing united, what have we got to lose? I didn't post a live about it today. Oh, I posted about it today. I didn't saw it. No job, no job. We already don't have any jobs. Right? No jab, no school. Our children have been at home, even though we've gone back to. Do you know how many times my kids come home at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock? This whole year? It's been a waste for education. Right? No jab, no fly. Stuff that. I'll drive to where I'll go. I'll go to the Central Coast, South Coast. I'll drive to Queensland, stop at Byron Bay, say hello to a couple of those commie movie stars that have ran away from California. Pay an $8 coffee that used to cost $2.50. Right? But seriously, guys, it's up to us. I'll tell you all. How long are you going to survive when 60% of the workforce says, stuff you, I'm not taking it, I'm not going to work? Guys, you can lose your house. You can lose your bank accounts. And that can always be replaced. Always. But if any of you can look me in the face and say, can you replace one child? Can you replace the love of your life? That's what the question is. If you can replace one of your child because he had an allergic reaction to an unproven vaccine that was pushed and a supposed legal vaccine was pushed back and not funded by the Australian government, so this Pfizer vaccine can come through. If you can look me in the face and say that you can replace your child, if you lose him, God forbid, or her, then I'll give up my whole campaign and I'll stand in line to get the jab.
Yeah. And there was a safe one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What happened to that? The April one? Where is it? You know, that's the most egregious part of all.
Now, people said to me, I'm pushing the vaccine. I'm not pushing the
That's
vaccine,
right.
John. I'm pushing free choice.
For free.
But isn't it nice to have a vaccine that says no side effects?
Yeah.
Right?
No side effects.
Safe.
Yeah.
Maybe then if you say, Romeo, if you don't take the jab, you don't have a job. Okay, what's in it? It's, for the Muslims, it's halal. Has no baby matter in it. Has no aluminium salts in it. Has no, what's the other one? Shark liver in it. It basically offends every single person on this planet and their belief.
It won't trigger your allergy. It won't. You can still drink alcohol.
Right.
It won't affect pregnant ladies.
What's wrong with you people? 2 months, no beer. It's like that song. It's worse than what's that song? In a pub with no beer.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Mate, that is before my time.
But seriously.
I know, it's ridiculous. Like, why don't we have some choice? What's the problem? You know? What happened to freedom?
I don't care about my house.
Yeah.
If I will not lose my job, I will resign if my company forces me. I will resign. I'll walk away in a heartbeat. And I'll take it as an opportunity and a sign by God that, Romeo, you need to move on to better things. And that might mean I will lose my house. That might mean I will lose my income. But that means nothing to me. If I can't see my son and 2 daughters and my wife's beautiful face every day until the day I leave him. That's what I'm telling you. This vaccine, this virus is bullshit, and the vaccine is double bullshit.
Yeah.
Please wake up.
It is. In the ideal world, we'd have some choice over this, and even then, you wouldn't be mandated. You know, if they really wanted, honestly, if I was strategizing for the overlords of the government, and I was like, okay, people aren't listening to me. This is a genuine problem, and we need to solve it, and we need to bring in, for example, a mask. We need people to wear masks. I wouldn't mandate it, because there are going to be people who would have done it normally if you made an option. But once you mandate it, they're like, oh, actually, no, something's fishy. I don't want to wear it now. You know, I don't trust you. And here's an example, guys, because this is a long line of, I think we all feel like the COVID-19 crisis is being used to push through an agenda. And before COVID-19, before the pandemics, what did we have? We had climate change.
What's that gone?
Where's it gone?
Where's how dare you? Where's that? Where's she?
She went back to school.
Finally!
I know, right? Isn't it funny? Because she was really sad. She wasn't getting attention anymore. But no, this is a reminder, guys. That this is my view of climate change. It's happening. It's out of humans' control right now. Mankind does contribute, but it's a small percentage compared to what they're making it out to be. And the fact that we think we can fix this just like that in a few years is amazing. But the change is happening so slowly.
But we don't even get to fix it. The planet fixes it.
Exactly. It's not us.
It's not.
Did you ever consider they never consider the sun the biggest thing that affects planets?
It's actually nature itself that does the most carbon emissions.
Volcanoes.
I think Alan Jones showed a graph once. There was 100 balls of pollutants.
Yeah.
Mankind is half a ball.
Yeah.
Yet it's up to us. Everything else.
Yeah.
But what I love about it the most was these 100 balls, 99 of them, or 99 and a half, are needed to make us live on this planet. Without one of these balls, life seems to cease. Right? It's like what whales eat?
Plankton.
Plankton.
Yeah.
It's needed. It's the basis of the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? Everything based, you know.
Yeah.
So I just find I love these climate change activists now. How they're all quiet.
Yeah.
The Greens, you dirty motherfucker. They're all quiet.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bert? What the Four Eyes? That freaking nerd that looked like he burnt himself with a Bunsen burner.
The head of
The Greens.
The Greens party, yeah.
Bant?
Yeah, just Bant. Yeah, Bant. He's a.
You know, where is he?
He's a piece of.
Where is he? Where is he, that filthy little... I'm going to step on him like a cockroach. Seriously, he is a cockroach.
Yeah.
You know? At least the guy before him, the Italian guy that sounds like Lamborghini.
He's relevant now.
You know?
Yeah.
He's gone. You know? Dentali?
Di Natale.
Yeah. I just, every time I remember him, I think like Lamborghini. I can't remember that. You know? He sounds like a coffee brand. Would you like a cup of Di Natale?
Di Natale. He's a real piece of work. I'm not a fan of that guy.
Oh, he left?
Yeah.
You know, I heard rumours as to why he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been in the battle for a while.
Oh, apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently you saw one of my posts where I called him a leech that sucked on my balls.
That has nothing to do with it. How does it have anything?
I told him a story ages ago about when I was in the Army Reserve and we walked through a river.
Yeah.
As we got out, long story short, Sergeant said, guys, take off your pants, check yourselves for leeches, which was normal, you know. Ask Ricardo, leeches are... and one of my mates, he turned around, like we were all not facing each other, we all turned around and checking area and that, see? And he turned around and screamed and said, I said, what's wrong? He turned around and he had a leech on his testicle. It was the size of, he looked like he had 3 testes. All of us tried to take it off. And anyone that knows what a leech does, it sucks on, it's got teeth. And we're tugging on this.
Why are you tugging on him? Use salt, use fire. What are you doing tugging on his balls?
So we used vinegar and it exploded, you know. He had gone from, you know, a man to looking like a woman at periods because there was just blood everywhere. I'm sorry, but I basically said to him, you are the leech on the Australian testicle. You're just sucking us dry. And he saw this post and apparently he lost it. He absolutely lost it. He wanted to kill me.
And that's why he was like...
Yeah. Oh, that's my story anyway.
All paths lead to Romeo's stories. Dude, that's hilarious.
The Greens, yeah, had enough. That's just a joke, but he did have it.
Yeah.
I think he knew he wasn't winning this battle.
He'd been in the battle for a very long time. And before him was that other guy, Brown or something.
Oh, Brown.
He's a, oh my gosh, that guy was a piece of work.
Yeah, Brown was like...
But yeah, but like, they're all using this agenda to get through. And he's an example, guys, of the deaths from climate and non-climate catastrophes from 100 years ago to now.
Yeah. Look
how much it's declined.
It's a catastrophe.
No, isn't it great? Isn't it great how few people are dying due to climate? Yeah, no, they...
Everything is better.
Yeah.
Right? Less people are dying.
Yeah.
Life expectancy. You sent it to me.
Yeah.
That gentleman from America who was making fun of Greta.
Yeah.
I don't even call her Greta. I just say making fun of how
How
Anyway, everything is better.
That's great. Isn't it great? Why are we complaining?
Because that's what the Greens and climate, they're just so fucking miserable in their life.
Yeah, they're pretty miserable.
But that's not my fault. You've got to stop wearing hemp. Go buy shoes. Right? Stop finding sandals.
Change your legs. We talked about that in the first podcast together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might make some progress there.
Well, you know, seriously.
Come on, man. These people, I feel sorry for them.
A woman is supposed to look like a woman. You know? There's no, and look, I'm gonna, last night I took my children to get some ice cream from Maryville.
Yeah.
I grew up in Maryville. I love Maryville.
Yeah.
I loved Maryville when it was an area people lived there because that's where they could afford. It was cheap. Right? We grew up having fun. We grew up tough. I'm buying them ice cream and, you know, I'm looking left and I'm looking right and all I see, I sent a message to my mate and I said, I am surrounded by butch lesbians. My wife looked at me and I said to my wife, I said, Are you attracted to any of them, Jude? She goes, no.
Yeah.
I said, where are the good-looking lesbians?
Yeah.
Why is Marrickville now butch lesbian city?
Yeah.
And they're so rude, and they're men men in dresses.
Yeah.
Right? And I've seen attractive lesbians. I've got nothing against it. But Marrickville now is butch lesbian heaven.
Yeah.
And they push in the line and they're very confrontational.
Yeah. Very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that has nothing to do with being a lesbian.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it doesn't.
It has nothing to do with being a homosexual. It has nothing to do with being a heterosexual. It has everything to do with being a decent human being with respect for oneself and others. But they don't. That's who these Greens are. They don't respect. They're miserable.
Yeah. They really are. Well, that's why I feel sorry for them. Because it's like, if they just had, they were showing a bit more love in their life, they may have turned out completely differently. Yeah. And that's the funny thing, I said it in the first podcast. Why is it that politics tends to attract people with psychological problems? Honestly, either they have a lust for power, Kamala Harris, or Hillary Clinton, or they're generally, they've got problems in their own life. They don't want to
Hillary Clinton is evil.
She is.
That's just
We can all agree on that. 100 million people in America can agree on that.
She couldn't even do her job as a wife. So how do you think she's going to do her job as a politician? Like, seriously. You know, as a man, I've got a job to do. I've got commitments to my life. Yeah. You know, and if I don't fulfil those commitments, it leads to loneliness, breakdown of marriage, and then she'll leave me. Yeah. Same with her. I mean, you got to. This man was as much of a scumbag as he is. If she ever did anything to try and please him, I don't think he would cheat as much as this man did. He spent how many years? 4 years having sex in the Oval Office. With everybody except his wife. That's what Bill Clinton achieved. Yeah. He's renowned for being the bloke that laid more women in the Oval Office than any other president before him. Wow, what an accomplishment!
Yeah. I wonder if we're able to break that record. Guys, ask your super chat questions. We'll be getting to them at the end of the show. I wanted to touch on this topic. We mentioned how corruption is rampant, and people like Hillary Clinton, we can all get behind that and say she's a evil human being, ugly soul. Similarly, I feel like we can make the same argument with Joe Biden. And I suspect that the progressives and the conservatives will get behind, they will unite on hating that person. 100 million people, I've said, that voted in the last election will get behind and hate both of them. And I made the point on Twitter, I said, mark my words, there will come a day when progressives and conservatives will unite to face the political class. Here's an example of that. Someone posted a Bernie Sanders tweet and then replaced his name with Trump's on there, and it seems to be quite popular. And it's really funny. So this is what Bernie Sanders wrote. He said, wages subsidised by the government during a pandemic, and then he lists all of them, and he's got Canada, $2,000 a month, Japan, up to 100%, and then he goes down to a number of different countries, and then he gets to the USA and he has 0%. He said, that is an international embarrassment. The working class needs our help now. Someone put Trump's photo on that, and it's getting quite a lot of traction on a subreddit on Reddit.
The left ran with this unbelievable.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah.
It was like chicken soup on a cold, winter night. Yeah. They were asking for seconds and thirds. Greedy fuckers. Yeah. But they just go, look, you researched it. You found out it wasn't. No. Did they?
No, they didn't.
I'm sure they did, but they loved it.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a funny thing though. There's a lot in common. It's populism, isn't it? And similarly, what we've got going on in the UK is going on as well. Just as the US establishment is pushing to fatigue the votes of 74 million people in the US, the UK and the European Union establishment is also trying to fatigue the 2016 vote to leave the European Union. And this comes on the back of the news that once again, The can is being kicked down the road. Brexit trade talks with the UK and the EU, they will go an extra mile and they're taking another extension. So they're not going to do, Boris Johnson, he should be going for a no-deal Brexit, but he's not. He's just going to extend again and do nothing. Do you see how they sort of fatigue you? They grind you down, down. We've got to learn these lessons. They will continue to do this to Australia as well. And what did we hear this week? We heard that China, there were leaked files that exposed millions of China's top Communist Party members, tying them to UK firms around the world, on Wall Street in Australia. And this was the Australian newspaper that broke this. Isn't that crazy? What's going on?
Can any of you tell me you can't honestly see that we are already infiltrated by the Communist Party?
We all see it.
When they were buying up, and I'm not Chinese hating right now, I'm just stating the fact. When they were buying up all the toilet paper and the baby formulas, and during our lockdowns and everything was running out. Do you honestly think they did that because they were going to make a shitload of money in a communist state? Do you not ask yourself, were they ordered to empty us out from our medicine, our baby formulas and our toilet paper? Even though that's a lie, we never ran out of toilet paper, just, government and the media made a big deal.
No, it's a good point though. All the property companies buying all the PPE gear, sending it over to China.
Yeah.
Did we forget about that?
We did. Have a look at right now. And I'm, again, not hating. I'm a very curious human being. How many Asians have you seen not wearing a mask? How many? Is it because they're seriously concerned about the coronavirus, or is it an order by their governing body? There is Pompeo, is it?
Mike Pompeo, yeah.
He came out and said that Chinese students, university students in the United States, had like a Zoom meeting, and they used fake names so the party could not know that it was them that was speaking against the Communist Party. Yeah. They live outside of China, yet they still fear the country they left. How many Chinese here in Australia are in the same predicament, that they still have to answer to their old government?
Yeah.
So to the Chinese people of Australia, this is your country. Yeah. You are one of us. If there is a problem, speak up.
Yeah. That's right. And I've heard that opinion many times where I said, they're not all Communist Party stooges. A lot of them are trying to escape China.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are buying up land in Western Sydney, for example, or in rural Australia. Don't assume that they're just Chinese Communist Party that want to build an airfield there and invade Australia. That's not the case. A lot of, it's yet to be seen that is the case for any of them. But don't assume that, because a lot of them are just trying to get their money out of China. Because it'll be confiscated or whatever. They're like anyone else. They have a family. They want to retain control of what they work hard for, and they're worried that the Chinese Communist Party will try and get it.
I'll tell you a story. It's a true story. It happened to me, and it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And this is probably close to home with you. Many years ago, when I had a cement rendering business, and I had quite a few guys working for me, I was doing very, very well. Thank God. I had one Syrian guy. I had Romanians, I had Portuguese, I had Lebanese, but there was one Syrian guy. And I loved him, he was a great guy. He worked for me for about 1 year, 1.5 years. And in those 1.5 years, any chance he got, he would hammer Hafez al-Assad, the father of Bashar al-Assad. He'd say he's bad, he's this, he's that. He'd give it to him. After 1.5 years, I hired another Syrian guy. But my original Syrian employee, I'm saying Syrian, they're Australian, but you know, to tell you the story, he went quiet because he didn't know him. So as a joke one day after finishing work and we're all leaving, I said to my worker, how come you're not hammering Hafez al-Assad anymore? He goes, Romeo, I'm scared. I said, scared of what? He said, the other Syrian guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he knows. So I'll stay quiet because I've got family in Syria, and if he knows somebody, he can just make one phone call and my family disappears. And I knew then and there that people do escape whatever bad position they're in, but they still have families still stuck in that position. So I asked myself this question, are the Chinese Australians in that same predicament where they have to follow an order or my family disappears?
Possibly. Probably. Yeah, I couldn't raise that even the most probable reason.
I know that family break, as I said before, a twig that breaks your ankle. And, you know, but it's a really, I find it weird how they just follow every single thing that is said by China. Yet they live here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make me hate them.
Yeah.
It makes me ask, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. I wanted to touch on an interesting, because I mean, there have been a bunch of different topics we've covered today. A lot of it is unifying as well, which has been very unusual for the show. Normally we go after politicians. Oh, we've actually got an example of a politician doing good. So have you heard of Tulsi Gabbard before?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful young lady. I see the smile on her face.
She's got an actress face, doesn't
She certainly does. She didn't run for re-election this year, believe it or not. So she ran to get the presidency position, but she didn't run for re-election in the House. I don't know why, but she didn't. And so guess what she's doing? She's burning the House down on her way out.
Yeah.
Because she's a Democrat, guys.
Yeah.
These are three things she proposed. One of the things was she said she backed Trump 100%.
One second.
Yeah, go.
1 second. She's a Republican in her heart.
Yeah.
Because look at that sunshine. Republicans are just, poison drops from their chin.
Yeah.
Not Republicans, Democrats. But look at her, she's a pretty, she's a
well,
Republican.
You're onto something. But maybe she's not a Republican. Maybe she's just a populist. Maybe she's just in tune with the people. Because we don't like Republicans that much, do we? You'll do nothing Republicans.
Maybe she's a Malcolm Turnbull. I give you that. Good old lefty Malcolm pretending he's a righty.
There's one in every country.
Yeah.
So what did she propose? This last week, what did we see these last 2 weeks? You know, Donald Trump was trying to oppose Section 230?
Yes.
She's with him on that.
She's with him on that
She's
one.
like, we need reform. So she proposed a bill for that. She also introduced a bill to protect the Born Alive Amendment, which protects infants who are survivors of abortion, which is excellent to hear.
Which we all know that they wanted to, if you want an abortion and it's born alive, they can kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that in Victoria they had like 50-something babies that were born like that, now left to die in a bucket, as Ricardo has said in the past, and they stopped taking.
How do you do that?
It's insane. You've got to know for a soul.
If we just think about it, me and you can feel tears build up in your eyes.
Yeah.
What kind of soulless human being must you be to be able to do that?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And at least she has the sense to oppose it. She also.
She looks like a mum.
She does look like a mum, but not yet. She's engaged or not yet. She also actually she has a boyfriend. I don't know if they're engaged, but she also proposed a bill to ban biological males from competing in women's sports.
Yes, that's what I want to.
And she said my Protect Women's Sports Act simply protects the rights and interests of girls and women who participate in sports so they can compete on a level playing field. Denying biological differences between men and women undermines the reasons why Title IX was created in the first place. Title IX was basically a part of legislation that the Americans put forward, which would allow women's sporting teams at schools to receive funding. Now, all of this appears to be basically defying what Tulsi Gabbard should be doing on the Democratic Party. But she's leaving in January, guys.
Where's she going?
George, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe she just wants to start a family.
Maybe crossing the floor.
No, she's not. She hasn't won re-election. You reckon she'll run again on a Republican ticket? I don't know.
I don't know. She just sounds like a woman with common sense, with a level head, and doesn't seem to hate everybody. I mean, let's be fair. Just because, and I'm going to say it, just because a male removes his genitalia, right, and grows breasts, and mentally thinks that he's a woman, and I got that's each to their own. Ben Shapiro's, stated this. There is in your DNA something that will keep you a male. Unless you remove that, which will kill you, you're a male. Now you might want to be called a female, and I respect that. I'm not going to say that you want. If you want me to call you Danny, I'll call you Danny. Right, that's fine. But you are a male. So to go in and take on a woman, right? That's not fair.
It's domestic violence, isn't it?
Right?
It's not good. It's not good.
Because the woman, I guarantee you, is not seeing a fellow female competitor against her. She's seeing a male.
Get the crap getting out of it. It's not good.
Okay. But here's the thing, this is how they like to play it, not her. The Democrats and the Greens. They like to say, and you're gonna love this. You're gonna actually, if you see me, you're gonna kiss me. They like to say, athletes like 100-meter sprinters. Okay, guys, what about boxers? Would you allow a male boxer who's now a female into a ring and punch on with a woman?
Not yet. Maybe soon.
I can tell you, what's her name? What's her name? Forget her name.
Who's that?
The Ultimate Fighter, female. She was champion.
Oh, I know which one. She was in that movie Fast and Furious.
That's right. What's her name? Guys, what's her name? Somebody write it down.
I'll write it down. That one.
She'd knock out about any male. Like that's not. She's just very well trained.
Absolutely.
But the thought of a male punching on a female, is that acceptable?
No, not at all.
Just because she's got long haired tits, but she has the strength of a male, do you accept that? I don't.
It's not good.
I don't think it's fair. The female might kick his ass. But it's still technically a male punching a female.
It's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening. Not at all.
There we go.
Let's finish on this last thing.
Before
we get into super chats. So the vaccine we've touched on a few times. I know. Look what happened in Queensland, because apparently there's a vaccine which was being developed up there, and they had to axe the trials with Australia because it turned out they used HIV positive, a false positive there, and so basically this has been thrown out because of this revelation. So we've had a viable vaccine since April, yet here we are still having problems with these other ones which are being rushed. Why did we have the one developed so quickly in April? Because they worked on the SARS virus, which is a strain of COVID.
They stopped and then restarted.
That's it. Nice and easy. Just insane, isn't it?
Can somebody please tell me why ScoMo's doing finger pain?
That's what you're chuckling at. Did you see the time? I'm going to show you the photos of him doing ballet.
Please.
You're going to love it.
Seriously, don't you love politicians that pretend they know what... In his head he's going, can I get some blue paint? Some blue paint.
I showed it to Ricardo, he was going to flip a take when he saw it. Oh, wait.
They just love to pretend that they know what they're talking about.
They have no idea.
Why is he wearing safety glasses? Why is he wearing a white robe?
Not a clue, honestly. Not a clue. Alright.
Oh my God.
Guys, ask your super chat questions. I'll be taking. But honestly, Romeo, this has been a crazy week. It's been relatively quiet, especially on the US front. We usually spend a lot of time talking about the US, but we are waiting to see what happens with Trump, aren't we? We're all on the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been saying they think they know what's going on. Clearly, they don't, because we've seen week goes week, and there's nothing that happens. Nothing gets, comes through. The Kraken got released, ended up being a small calamari.
Now we know why he sacked her.
Yeah, well, she was never on the Trump team technically, but look, she's still that's Sydney Powell, guys. Yeah, look, that's technically not even. She wasn't actually on the team. She was. It would have been a conflict of interest if she was. She was also Michael Flynn's lawyer, so that's why they distanced themselves from her. So it was shown that she was clearly not a. Yeah.
If you still think this is about Donald Trump versus Biden, if you still think that this is Republicans versus Democrats, or if you think that it's Republicans versus Biden, or Biden versus, Republicans, versus Biden, or Biden versus, whatever it is, Republicans,
Yeah.
it's not. It's good versus evil.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's that simple. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Everything we're trying to fight for is for betterment of humanity, and everything they're doing is to bring the darkness upon humanity, the misery.
Yeah.
If you do, these people are worse than my mum. If you do not do this, this will happen.
Yeah.
Till we finally decide to grow up and say, you know what, Mum, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Remember my spaghetti post? Keep pushing that spaghetti until they finally tell us, get up and go to your room.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, guys, next week we'll be back with Romeo again. We're gonna hopefully we get some more news on what's been going on. It's a strange time because it's sort of the holiday season, but there are things we need to cover. These concepts like with climate change, how to push this BS around to try and get more power that we have to touch on. But we're about to take some super chats from people live now. But Romeo, thank you for coming in this week. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, John. I enjoy waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, rushing home, having a shower and a shave, and then driving here, only to wait for you to finish your shower while I stand outside waiting for Joel to open up.
Well, it's fashionably late to my own party. Romeo shaking his head. It's just like the Facebook live stream, which I thought was on Instagram. Your fans still haven't forgiven me on that. You know we got like 30,000 views on that?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No, you did. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You did. They come to see the locals.
They do. They pay good money for it.
I've had to compete, that's why I've adjusted my game. You know,
Yeah. No, awesome. I can't wait for it. In 2 weeks' time, we've got you, Ricardo, and me. We're going to have a ball.
Yeah.
Maybe have to make it a Joe Rogan 3-hour show. But,
yeah. Why not? If I, you know.
Who knows?
Why not?
Alright, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and Romeo, thanks again for your time.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I don't care.
Alright, see you guys.
So, we got no more scotch, do we?
No, I've got heaps. Alright, let's see, guys, we're in the super chats. Where are the questions at? Thank you, Jamie Griffin, for your $10 donation. There's no question. Do you know it all? If you do, I want to know. I want to know what you know. But a lot of people complaining about the sound. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I tuned into it. I mean, I get it that this wasn't to plan, but they had a GoPro which would have fed this really good audio into it. The GoPro died just before clearly this is I'm ironing out the creases of the first podcast, this live podcast.
Why do you always gonna fuck up when it's me?
You're always the first.
So much for, you know, I thought Joel would be preparing and getting everything, you know, and then bang, he's having a shower.
Yeah, no. You go early. Normally what happens is Ricardo gets here at like, if we say 3, it's like, okay, he gets here at 3, and we start filming straight away. But you gave me like 220.
That's the difference. See,
Yeah.
Ricardo is SAS.
Exactly.
I'm ex-recon.
Yeah.
We always arrive early so we can scope out things and make sure that when the SAS rock up, there's no surprises.
There's surprises.
So it's really us that does so. I'm used to getting places early.
Yeah. So when I say 4 now for our podcast,
I'll probably be here at 3.
Yeah, 3. So I'm going to be ready at like 2.
But I will tell you 4, so you don't expect me when I arrive.
Damn it, Romeo. Alright, come on guys, where are the questions? Where are the questions? They don't make me scroll up to see what you guys have been saying. It's literally all about sound, isn't that funny? I grant you, this is a bad time for questions. Everyone's working, which is good. You want people to be working at this time?
Yeah, I hope everybody is working.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want a working Australia.
Yeah. Alright, cool. No, look, if there's no questions, beautiful, no worries. We will end the day and we, and we will go to get on with the rest of our day.
Yes.
What are your plans?
Drive home.
Drive home?
Drive home, get something to eat.
Yeah. Where's your nearest pool? Or you just go to the beach with the family?
Pool.
Yeah, pool.
It's like asking me where's the nearest piss hole.
They've been getting rid of them, haven't they, in Sydney? Yeah. Isn't that a shame?
They're no longer pools. They're aqua centres.
Yeah. Aqua centres?
Yeah, aqua centres. It's where Aquaman hangs out, you know. I just find it funny. It's just a swimming pool. It's the council swimming pool, the local swimming, but now they're all, you know, Canterbury Aquaman.
Yeah.
You know, Homebush Aqua World.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just swimming pool, man.
Yeah, I love the swimming pool. We've got the one we used to have in Parramatta. They got rid of it because of the stadium. But I had some good memories of that place. They had a water slide there, and they're like, nah, get rid of it. The corporation's illegal stadium.
Yeah.
They could have rotated it a little bit and kept the pool, but no, they
Look.
I mean, they're big losers of money. The pools.
Of course, they cost a lot to.
You know.
The gyms are not making viable.
Yeah, but it was a public funded thing. Like, it was a public funded thing. People actually crowdfunded it. And the council got rid of it. It's like, no replacement. Brilliant.
And money wasn't given back.
Well, who to? It was done so long ago. It was not like 60 years ago. Or something.
Oh, right, okay, so I thought it was recent.
No.
Yeah, well, Marrifield swimming pool's gone. It's a big park now.
Yeah.
So,
Parks are easy to maintain,
yeah.
I guess.
Marrifield, you know, was a great place. It's where I learned to swim.
Yeah.
It's where I competed. I'm glad Canterbury swimming pool. But you see, the ones that have survived have gotten bigger.
Yeah.
You know, offering more pools for more people. Ashfield is the last, recently just been opened. It's huge.
Yeah.
So I guess I can understand. Make it bigger, get more people there. Marrifield wasn't even a 50-metre swim. It wasn't even an Olympic-sized swimming pool. I think it was 5 metres short.
Yeah.
So, but Canterbury is, Ashfield is. So I guess they take away, but they give back. You know, to make it more viable. Every council just wants one swimming pool. Whereas you look at Marrifield Council, too many swimming pools. Animal, Marrifield, I think there was one in Stanmore at one point. And people were just, because there were so many, and the money's being spread so far, so it's tougher. Get rid of those, get rid of Marrifield, I think get rid of Stanmore, and they left Enmore and made it bigger.
Wow.
So, and they put a gym in there. So it's viable. And of course, when a swimming complex is making money, it's able to continually maintain itself. No costs are cut, and it's a good place to swim. But I still prefer the beach.
Yeah, the beach. Something about the beach is just awesome. But yeah. Awesome, really. Well, let's wrap it up there.
That's it.
I'll see you guys another time. But no, this has been fun.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Awesome. Cool.
All right.
I'll end the stream. Cool. Oh, wow. That was interesting.
That was very interesting.
How many views?